This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, February 17th, 2006, and this is episode number 63 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hotchkiss from MGMstudios.org. Our panel today includes the operator of Mouse World Radio and frequent visitor to Orlando area Hooters, Mike Newell. Welcome, Mike.
Hello.
Also on the show is the poster child for Pop Century, Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
In this Hall of Presidents, let us pay homage to these immortal men whose illustrious names have been indelibly inscribed on history's roll of honor. Hiya, Matt.
Warren G. Harding, William Howard Taft.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to open up. I was going to open up with just presidents' names, and everybody try to figure that one out.
Yeah, exactly.
We've also got the person they based the Muppet Animal after, Len Testa. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, man?
Irene!
We're doing a question show again because in the month of February, that's all we're doing is questions. So if you've got your own questions for us to answer, email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. Our first question is actually a comment. Last episode we talked about car seats, and many listeners emailed in to clarify some rules and regulations about the state of Florida. Doug Rubin of Princeton, New Jersey wrote, car seat rules in Florida are different than many of the nanny states where many Walt Disney World visitors come from. He gives us a link to the City of Orlando's website, which I will post on the show notes. He goes on to say, the simple rule for Florida is if a child is 4 years or older and can sit comfortably in a seatbelt, you don't legally need a car seat. Whether that meets one's particular requirements for safety is, God forbid, a personal choice. Sam wrote in about car seats on airplanes and said, I just wanted to clarify the child seat question you discussed. On an airplane, you are not required to have a child seat unless the child is sitting in their own seat. Children under 2, and check with the airlines, are not required to have a seat and can travel on the lap of a parent or an adult at no charge. Children older than 2 are required to have their own seat, but not required to have a child seat restraint. Some airlines may differ, but most are the same. Child seat and strollers are checked by the airlines at no cost. So thanks to Sam and Doug for writing in and clarifying those rules for us. Our first question today comes from Karen Pendleton, who writes, I'm leaving for Walt Disney World in 29 days and will be there during spring break on March 15th through 20th of 2006. I looked up the college spring break schedule, and it looks like the peak week for college spring break, oh no. Too late to change my plans now. The kids are 4 and 5 and are excited to no end. My question, will the college kids really be clogging up the attractions that my preschoolers want to see? I know the parks are going to be busy, but I would think that college kids would like Downtown Disney and water parks more than Dumbo Ride. I also don't remember getting out of bed before noon during my college days, so maybe the parks will be a little less busy in the morning and more packed at night when my little ones will pass out. Any advice would be great.
I think the headliner attractions are going to be the ones that are going to be bogged down by the kids. They're all going to be looking at, all the college kids are going to be going to Expedition Everest, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder,
Tower of Terror.
Mission, yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster. I think that she probably won't be fighting the co-eds on Winnie the Pooh and Dumbo and those types of rides. So I think she's okay there. Len probably has a better idea.
I think March, there are some public schools in Florida, K through 12, that also have spring break then. So there are a few that actually don't have spring break around Easter. So it won't just be college kids.
Yeah, I was going to say that one also.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still be crowded. The best gauge of crowd levels is really Disney's Magic Kingdom park hours. When it starts opening at 8 a.m., then you know to be scared. If it's open past 11, then you know to be scared. Other than that, I think you'll be fine. It's not going to be as bad as Easter, but it won't.
It's not going to be walk-on either.
It's not going to be walk-on either. Yeah. So the normal advice applies. Get there early and have a touring plan.
One more thing: college kids, like Len said, if they're opening the park at till 11, you have to be concerned about that. But keep in mind, college kids like to sleep in, so be early, be very early, and you'll be okay.
I don't think many college kids. I could be wrong. I mean, I would think college kids would go to like Daytona or South Padre Island or something, or somewhere else. I don't think many of them are coming to Disney World. Plus, who can afford it at $67 a day in college?
Philip Adams of Coconut Creek, Florida writes, a few years back I went to Walt Disney World and I was trying to find a funnel cake. Every cast member who I asked gave me incorrect information. I went to all 4 parks looking with no luck. There may be a place on Main Street in Magic Kingdom, but I'm not quite sure. Do you guys have any clue as to where can I find funnel cake at Walt Disney World?
I can answer that one. In Liberty Square, just to the right of the front entrance to the Hall of Presidents, there's a little place on the corner called Sleepy Hollow that has the best funnel cakes in the Magic Kingdom.
Probably has the only funnel cakes in the Magic Kingdom.
Well, when you're hungry and you're held there, that was the best time.
They also have it in Epcot by American Adventure, right? One.
Yeah, by between the United States Pavilion and Morocco.
So those are the 2 places. There are no funnel cakes at the MGM Studios, and I don't think. Are there any in Animal Kingdom?
Don't ask me.
Wouldn't it be ironic if they're actually making them in animal
There are 2
fat?
people on this podcast who would not know. What'd you say, Len?
And so wouldn't it be funny if they were making them with animal fat, in the Animal Kingdom? Never
Well,
mind.
no. Wouldn't be funny for the
Hey-o.
animals.
It's just, we need some tallow. Where can we get that from? Hold on. Bring the elephant over.
Art from Vermont asks, first, I love your podcast. I have not missed an episode yet. I have a couple of questions. My wife and I have a trip coming at the end of February into early March. My questions are first, when does it get dark at this time of the year relative to when the parks close? My other question is, what rides or attractions are best experienced after dark?
Ooh, good question.
Good
Let's start.
question.
Let's save the second part for a little bit. But when does it get dark in early February or late February, early March?
Weather.com will have the actual sunrise and sunset, but I mean, it's got to be the same pretty much everywhere along the East Coast, I would think.
I figure it's gonna be around sometime between 6 and 7. It'll start getting it'll get dark around 5ish, and then by between 6 and 7, you should switch to quote unquote dark.
Yeah, I think. I think it's more. Yeah, I mean, yeah. By that time, it'll be like 6:15, 6:30, 6:30ish. But
Where is that
generally,
from?
Art's, where's Art from? Colorado,
Vermont.
Vermont. Oh, so yeah, I mean, Colorado.
Close.
Generally, it'll be about the same, as Vermont. So
Yeah.
give or take a few minutes, and don't forget it's 2 minutes of extra daylight every day now.
There you go. That makes a huge difference right there.
Well, we're just forecasting out 2 weeks. All
In
of
a
a
month,
sudden
that would
there's
make a
another,
difference.
30 minutes.
Did you get a little more daylight, Florida being all flat?
It depends upon, Mike makes a good point.
Technically,
That's
yeah,
a legitimate
right.
question.
Whoa,
Depends
dude.
upon the
It
time
is a
of year.
legitimate question.
Depends upon the time of year. When I was there at Mouse Fest, it was still light around 5:30. I can remember being in a pool after doing a jog in the middle of July, and it was still dark down there at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I knew that up here it would be light. So it really makes a difference.
Nah.
Yes,
In July?
All right.
June 21st has the most, like the third week of June usually has the most daylight of any week all year. And December usually has, the third week of December usually has the least.
Put it on your list, Len, for something to check out.
All right.
On your list. Everybody, that's your homework, everybody. Everybody out there, that's your homework.
Start counting daylight time.
Be a new chapter.
I know it's getting late around 7 a.m. I'm guessing
see.
around 7 p.m. it's going to get dark. Anyway, go ahead.
Let's answer Art's other question, which is an interesting question about what rides and attractions are best experienced after dark. What comes to mind first is not Rock and Roller Coaster.
Rock and Roller Coaster,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Nothing says after
boy,
dark
just-
riding than rock and roller coaster.
No. Boy. No, what I really meant to say, honestly, was Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Thunder for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Thunder I think is just a much better ride at night. In fact, I'd rather go on it at night than during the day.
I've heard.
Adventureland's pretty cool at night. Jungle Cruise?
I've never done the Jungle Cruise at night. Now that I think about
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot better.
I've heard Tower of Terror, but I really don't think it makes that big of a difference.
No.
I mean, the only time you're outside, quote unquote, is when they open the doors and.
The only
Not
good
sure.
thing about that though is when you're first get put in the shaft,
Yes,
if it's dark outside, you don't get to see the light filtering in
that's true.
from the edges of the shaft, so it's a little bit.
I think the advantages of dark are more negligible than anything. I mean, I wouldn't say compared to say Splash Mountain and Big Thunder,
No, the others are completely different. Swiss Family Treehouse is pretty cool at night.
How about
Has
the
anyone been on
TTA?
Kilimanjaro Safari or Kali River Rapids in the evening?
Nope.
I think Kali would be pretty cool. It only operates seasonally at night or after dark. Generally during evening extra magic hours. But I imagine with the flames and everything, it would be pretty cool.
During regular park hours, I don't think it's open during night, like during dark hours.
No, but during certain
Extra magic
seasonal
hours.
extra magic hours, it is.
Yeah.
Actually, going around Tomorrowland and the TTA at night is kind of cool. We get to see everything lit up from a different
Yeah, that's
vantage
not bad
point.
either.
Good question.
Anything? Nothing in Epcot, huh? I mean,
Oh no, the sidewalks in Epcot at night.
Okay.
The fiber optic sidewalks in Epcot are fantastic.
ooh,
I didn't know those were an attraction.
yeah.
it's
Wow,
like 1984 again.
Art is not the Philistine you are, and will understand and appreciate the. Do you want me to say innovations to go along with your rock and roller coaster?
So it'll
Make
fit
sure
well.
Bert
I
is
think
great
it's
at night.
fantastic. What
Now,
about
they-
Test Track at night? Is it any good?
I've done it at
Oh,
night. I
Test
mean,
Track. Don't know.
Yeah.
What can you see in the back
yeah,
at night,
I
really?
mean, World Showcase at night is pretty cool in general.
that's true.
Now,
Beautiful.
there is one attraction that would really be cool to watch at night, and that would be Lights, Motors, Action Stunt Show. That would be nice.
Did they do that at night? I didn't think they did.
No.
I don't know. That's the point.
Oh.
Put a real challenge behind the wheel. Yeah.
The Norway ride, when you go backwards, it's a lot. Going to what Len was saying about Tower of Terror, with
It's
it being
less
dark.
light.
Yeah, it's you don't immediately know that you're about to go outside. Most people just stare forward because they don't notice the light coming in.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad ride.
Our next question comes from Alex from Queens, who writes, "Do they still use hand snaps at Walt Disney World if you want to leave and come back on the same day? If so, what is the reason for it?"
No, they don't.
That stopped.
Yeah. It's been gone. They used to do it. I think. Did they? When was the last time they did it? I have the.
Just before the biometrics went into play, I guess.
Yeah, they did it for a little while after that, but then they got rid of it right after, soon after that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in use though when they were still doing. After Magic Your Way was introduced.
Only for a little. I think for like a month afterwards. It
Yeah,
was, but yeah.
really last
That's
year.
right around the time they decided to get rid of it.
Okay. Ken in Perryville, Maryland asks, Disney marketed the Yeti in Expedition Everest for several months, and Joe Rohde, an Imagineer, I believe, actually talked about creating the quote-unquote smell of the Yeti. Is there now a smell on the ride associated with the Yeti? I didn't smell anything. Did you, Lon?
No.
I can't.
I mean, they really only see the Yeti once. It's tough to. And really,
breathe
it's at
on.
the very end of the ride. It's brief. I mean, it's.
You got to breathe on cue, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he'd really have to get the smellitizer going, right in the right direction. And I didn't say maybe it's a feature they're going to add in, but I didn't smell anything, abominable while I was riding.
Well, they do have the poop exhibit.
Abominable.
Yeah, I mean they've got the poop, and this is really I think it is the only Walt Disney World attraction.
Abominable poop.
But yeah, I didn't.
Tim Massillon, Tim of Massillon, Ohio, asks, "Hi guys, I love the PCast. Do any of you happen to know if the annual pass discount codes work for Disney Vacation Club resorts? I'm not a Disney Vacation Club member. I have only used the codes at the standard Walt Disney World hotels. I would like to try out the old Key West resort sometime, but would like to use a code if one comes out. Keep up the great work."
I know they do have codes for the DVC resorts because I've used them actually at Old Key West before. In terms of annual pass discounts, I'm sure I'm guessing there are annual pass discounts everywhere.
Yep.
So that
I'm
would
thinking.
include the resort. You will have to ask Sue.
It doesn't hurt to try.
Those resorts are not exclusive to DVC members.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Disney, a room's a room.
Tracy Rametta asks, "Can you still get a character of yourself drawn in any of the parks?"
I think you can in France at Epcot.
Yeah, I've seen them in Epcot.
They're called freedom portraits there, though. Just kidding.
Very
Oops,
good.
Sorry.
They don't have them at the, I don't think they have them at the studios. I don't.
Well, they used to do them on Main Street, right? In the Magic Kingdom.
They used to do them on Center Street, like right across from the Emporium,
Right.
right outside is it Time Works? Disney Time
Back
Works.
when a movie cost a penny.
Yeah, back then.
They actually have one of me somewhere.
I think they
With
still
my
do them
brother,
there.
my sister and I.
They do them in the a lot of the resorts will do them. I know they do them at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I've seen them do them at Polynesian. You can have them done there.
So yeah, Tracy.
The answer is yes.
I would try Epcot though. I think that's your best bet to find.
Yeah,
them.
definitely in France. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for us today. This has been episode number 63 of Walt Disney World Today. If you want to find older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. You can also email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.